First, I want to say clearly that we don't have a ruling party. We have a reunion party. They are destructive in their process, in their policies, in their approach, in their character, and in their manners. It's not only your LISEC officers that were APC members. The commissioners of LISEC and the chairman herself, they are APC members. We challenged them in some of the processes we had. And she said, well, you might have seen some of us have been carry member before, but now, how do you change? Are you a child? That you are an adult suddenly, because of the gave you position, you forgot that you are an APC member. And they have further ruined our democracy. I mean, not saying 2027. Why are we talking about 2027? Are we accepting this nonsense? We are not accepting it. We did not have an election on July 12, 2025. There was no election. It was a show of shame and a sham for Lagos State of all places. So why are we saying, oh, wait to 2027? This election will be cancelled. It is in the hands of Lagosians, we political party members that are here, to make sure that it's cancelled with all these irregularities. I heard that the IGP came into Lagos maybe the day before. I'm not sure. Probably the PRO can confirm. What did they do? So the IGP is so useless that he cannot allow election to be properly conducted. Same with the CP. What was their duty? You also, our police officers were sleeping and collecting bribe. We have videos. Somebody should be telling us, bring evidence. Videos are everywhere. Posters of our keeping some for court processes. They were practically useless, collecting money, sitting down, eating, drinking, and laughing, even protecting the thugs and the APC members that were making sure election was rigged. How do you do an election without accreditation? Your process was entirely manual, even for the registration. All right, do this manual process very well. No, there was no accreditation. There was double voting. People were giving ballot boxes, and they were just competing like madmen. That is the word that we use. These people have lost their mind, and they are hell bent on ruining our democracy. Even though we don't even have one, we are still managing to piece it together. The chairman of LISEC should be sacked, and the commissioners, Omombolande, Ijile, sacked. It was a terrible process, and they planned to fail. It was not a mistake. It was not no, they planned to fail at the beginning. Allow political parties, adult people that are doing their work to go into a process, put all their strength, and you give them a nonsense process. How possible will APC win all the seats? As useless as those local government chairmen are and their councillors. Is that what they live in? But they differentialize everybody. What are we saying? The election should be cancelled. That woman should be sacked.
My problem is that with the opposition, we need to wake up. Because I don't see, because at the point, they had to be invited to sign a peace power with the CP, in the CP office. Initially, when they went there, they took their stand that they would not sign. But I was later surprised. I don't know what made them to later sign that peace part when they've not seen the light of the day. Because Yoruba will say, you can't expect a man in power who is enjoying the juices of power to just leave the power for you like that. Why did they go ahead to sign that peace party? Because if the whole thing started, if the whole wahala started from the first day where the peace party issue comes up, maybe by now we need to be where we are. Number two, now you are taking a report from us. Organizers, please. I am an activist. This thing we are doing, will you have human face at the end of the day? What is the next step from here? That we want to know. Not just to come and talk, and after our report turn to a script that the ruling party can also make use of it to do us, to tackle us in the next election. So therefore, what are we moving from here after all said and done? But to me, my people and my team, after highest in 2 weeks' time, I will be in the court, just as some candidates have also done. So I want to employ every candidate and every local government to form a coalition to push independently for this issue. Because all of us here now we are in dark. We wouldn't know whether it's the ruling party that organized what we are doing here. For them to know, to study what we are doing so that they know how to tackle us in 2027. Yes, because they have all their eyes everywhere. They are on top of media, they are on top of judiciary, they are on top of churches, they are on top of this thing. So the organizer should tell us the next step from here. If not after this, we may not come again. And if we discover tomorrow that our script or our contribution here is submitted to the ruling party, we will sue you. I'm taking it clear. I've been quiet at this. It is on here. We declare this thing. Ambode a terrorist. It was in this hall. It was in this hall we declared Jonathan or the Madam Suru. Because for me to come from the banana, it costs water to this place, not a small joke. It was here we declared Jonathan an extremist in an international interview with BBC. So after this step, what is the next thing? Let us know. We need the report to support our cases because this has to stop. And for opposition, please, we should not handle this thing as if you're in America. 2007 should be eye for eye, tooth for tooth. If you want to get power, if you keep on talking till next tomorrow, you are on your own. Thank you and God bless you.
As for me and many others, this is the worst I've ever seen. Actually, it's at the time I'm coming into the political space after years being in the military. And I had never had a hand at any time while on the uniform. I've gone against people subverting their voice. This is the height of it. So undemocratic, and I can't find words suiting enough to define this daylight robbery where even uniformed men, the police in particular, with evidences, the military, everybody were just against the opposition party. This is not an election, but it's election. I am of the thought that cowards die many times before they are dead, but the valiant never taste of death but once. I am telling you, just as what we saw recently, we are gradually sliding into anarchy. If everybody that contested the election were people like me, this wouldn't have happened because we'll come all out and we'll ensure that our voices are heard in unison. But what will you do, just one man, when the whole world seems to be against you? July 12 in Lagos State is an aberration, total departure from the norm. I can't expect the Nigerian I had lived my earlier life to protect for 13 years, suffering from such menace of I don't know how to say this, because it was a selection. You see ballot stuffing, you see even underage voting, you see people voting with their hand, and who are meant to protect the integrity of Nigeria and its people support this. No, it's called for. And I want to say it again and again, that we are going close to where the falcon will no longer hear the falconer. We are sliding into anarchy, and that is just it. Because there will be at a time the people will be pushed to the wall and there's nothing we could do. The only thing we could do is the fact that at that time when it happens, all of us will be on the run. But we have no place to go to than Nigeria. And if Nigeria must succeed, we all must come together and brazen up to fight against this impunity that is eating our democracy up. This is what so many people have lived to fight for, and some set of people want to truncate it. We won't allow that.
All right, so on that day, before then, LISEC was our major problem. The documents they asked us to bring on the day of screening were documents we submitted a month before. And it was on that day of the screening, when we got there, I saw that woman, she's fair like this. That was when she came out with an A4 document and said, everybody should come with original documents of all your... I was like, madam, what do you mean? And she ran back inside. And that was where the problem started. We all had to start going to be looking for our original certificates up and down, which was not stated in the message they sent to us. Now, fast forward to the day of election. All right, one of the polling units, my polling unit agents called me and said, there's a woman here monitoring people voting, what party people are voting for. So I went down there and I met the woman gallantly seated close to the cubicle, and I went straight to the LISEC officials and I asked them, I said, please, I just want to ask you a question. Is it right that this woman is seated here? And the guy answered me, he said, no. I said, no. And what have you done about it? He said, we've been telling her, but she's not. And I told them, I said, I once worked as a presiding officer. This would never have happened in my polling unit. And I told the woman, in a respective way, I respected her, and I told her, madam, can you please move? And we started having that till she stepped out. And the officers were there. The police officers were there. And I was looking at them, I said, officer, is this what you're here to do? Now, another thing I want to say is this. I think we have to get to a point where all candidates should have a cameraman that will be following them up and down. Because they would start asking you, where is your proof? And they will still be the ones to tell you, don't camera my face. Because I had that plan. It was part of my plan. And while I was going to vote, a guy was following me with a camera. It was the officer that first started. Please take this away. I said, oh God, what's happening? Okay. So, and I will tell you, in my polling unit, I was about, let's say, like 10th in number to vote. When I got there, after I finished voting, I was watching the officials, the LISEC officials. Nobody asked me to bring out my fingernails to put the ink. So I did like this, and they were both looking at me. What is he saying? I said, oh. Then one of them was like, we have not been marking people's fingers. I said, can you imagine? Then she started counting back to know how many people had voted without that. Then the other one said, come in now. I said, it's really me. It actually me. Don't do this anymore. So how many can we count? I mean, the way our election has gone, there was no election. I'm telling you, all this nonsense has to stop.